Hey, what is going on, my brotherhood? Welcome to another new episode of Love, and Destroy.
Boom.
If you guys are excited, I hope you are. Head on down to that like button and just destroy it for me. Just blow it up right now.
Just like JJ.
Just go boom.
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 And if you're new, make sure you subscribe and show some love and hit that little bell so you always know when some Mod Creations YouTube cosplay content is coming your way. If you guys don't know, Like, Love, Destroy is a segment on the channel where we take a genre of something and choose different aspects of it to like, love, and destroy, basing it solely on our own opinions. These are solely our own opinions, so if you have your own, please let us know what they are in the comment section down below. This week, we will be discussing Dungeons and Dragons.
What?
Again.
Classes.
Oh, okay.
We're doing classes this time. We did races last week. There was some hate for, some very short and beloved characters out there.
Oh,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Gosh.
Oh, wait, not me.
And there was some vile lizards that were put in their place.
Whatever. You guys
I
just
wonder
jelly
what
of
you
the
meant by
dragon.
I have no idea what I meant by that.
Jelly of the dragons.
Yeah, dragons suck. That's why Dungeons and Dragons should just be called Dungeons.
Dungeon.
With a big D as their,
Mm.
Yeah, but then Dorf would be outplayed.
Well, what have we called it? Like corridors and dungeons, or dungeons and...
Dungeons and Maze.
Alright, let's go ahead and get started. So, I have an honorable mention for a,
Oh my gosh, another
for a
honorable
class.
mention? Jeez.
I actually have two honorable mentions, but I don't
What?
have that much. I don't have that much material.
I don't know.
I don't have that much material.
The
You'll
last
see it.
video
You'll see
was
it.
like a book.
You'll see it this time. This one's very dumbed down and simple.
Ooh.
For my honorable mentions, I wanted to talk about the Druid and the Warlock. I have never played either,
Neither have I.
and I would love to play a Druid or a Warlock. I'm more hanging towards the Druid because I like playing the Archer, and the Archer is more of a martial version of a Druid.
Uh-huh.
But I like the wild shape feature of Druids, and I would love to try that out one of these days and play a Druid like that. Warlocks are characters that sign contracts with entities of higher power and borrow their magical prowess from them to cast spells. They are not arcane spellcasters. They are not divine spellcasters. They get their ability to cast magic from that higher entity. Usually it's either gods, dragons, liches, beings of immense power that already have so much power they can grant it to others. A warlock sounds really interesting, especially like playing a warlock who pretends to be a normal caster, but is secretly an agent of an evil entity in a good guy group. I think that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
It could be.
That sounds like a lot of fun. I really don't know what I would do for a druid besides, maybe a character that's never been in a city before and somehow chases like a poacher or something into the city and is mesmerized by it for the first time, but also disgusted by it.
That sounds annoying.
I don't know.
I kind of like the aspect, you live off the land and you see these people who destroy land, but yet, for some reason, they're living pretty decently. So you're like, I don't know how I feel about this.
But, yeah, I just want to try one of these classes one of these days. I think it sounds like fun. So, we'll actually get into my like now. So let's roll some likes.
Alright.
My like is Rangers.
Which you did mention already, yeah.
I absolutely love Rangers. Rangers are quarter spellcasters, so they do have spells at their disposal. But for the most part, they are martial characters. Rangers usually... so I don't know much about 5th edition because I haven't delved that much into it. But in 3.5 D&D, usually you would pick either the path of bladed weapons or, martial melee weapons, or you would pick the path of the bow. I liked being able to make that distinction in my game playing.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, they usually have an animal companion. I mean, it's like playing a druid,
Yeah.
but you don't have as many weapons at your disposal.
Yeah.
So, and you can't wild shape. You don't get as much magic. But I always liked rangers. I thought they were a lot of fun. I like this art for this ranger. I think she looks amazing.
She does look nice.
She looks really awesome. I'm somewhat conflicted about the bear pelt because I love bears, but you know.
Oh,
Maybe-
poor bear.
Maybe they were friends and he passed away, and now she carries his spirit with
now
him.
I love it.
Yeah, see? It's
I
all
love
fixed.
it now.
I got it fixed, guys. It's okay.
But I got some pictures of some various rangers here. I really like the last one. I like the idea of doing that dual wielding bladed weapons, but instead of like the swords that you normally see with rangers, doing like axes or something. That sounds cool to me. But
She kind of looks like a pirate.
she does kinda.
Especially with the blade in the boot.
Yeah,
Mhm.
she kinda does. But no, I think rangers are a lot of fun. They have a lot of skills, but not as much as rogues. They are a jack of all trades class to me because they have a lot of skills, but not as many as rogues. They have spells, but not as much as actual spellcasters, and they make excellent martial characters, but they're not as good as fighters. If you want the perfect core class to play, I think that would be ranger.
I mean, I can see
You
that.
get everything as a ranger.
I can
You
see
don't
that.
get a lot of everything, but you get everything. So, just my opinion, though.
Yeah.
So for my love class, roll out some love here. My love would have to go to clerics. I absolutely adore clerics. I think they're fun to play.
I'm kind of not surprised.
I think they're fun to play. It brings more role playing into the game for me. I think it brings so much role play because you have to you're acting the part of a devoted worshipee to a divine entity,
Alright.
and you actively have to bring your morals into the game more than most other players.
Right.
If you are not willing to allow injustices to go on around you, and the sacrilege that would be against your god's general words I'm looking for here, their general practices, then you are almost expected to step in and do something about it.
Properly. We do have a player who claims to go for the moral, but it's really just like selfish greed kind of thing.
But
Yeah. You have to be consistent about it.
of course, one of my favorite races to play when I play a cleric is dwarves. I love playing dwarves. I love playing worshippers of Morden.
He just like the hammer.
I love hammers. I love hammers. And by the way, I said this in the last episode. I'm gonna say it again. If you are playing a cleric with bladed weapons, I'm sorry. It's just my opinion. You are playing that cleric wrong. Unless you're an evil cleric, I will give you some, leeway there. But I think they're just a lot of fun, and I got some pictures of some other clerics, like this Drow cleric here that would probably be in service to Loth. Another dwarf cleric, because they can't help but not love dwarves. And this half-elf cleric in service to some kind of sun god entity.
Yes, some kind of Sue.
So, but yeah, I absolutely adore clerics. I think they're fun characters to play. I think, like I said, I think they bring more to the role-playing aspect of the game than most other classes.
Right.
Like another class that would do that a lot, I would believe it would be paladin. But I don't want to play I don't hate paladins, but why would I play a paladin when I could play a cleric?
Plus, cleric is actually more OP than paladin.
Apparently it is. I'm not going to agree yet, because apparently in 5th edition clerics are just OP right now, but I don't know. I'm not gonna go off on that discussion right now. But for my destroy class, roll out some destroy here. I feel like I'm gonna get some hate here
Probably.
from one person in the room.
Oh, I wonder who that could be.
I hate monks.
Monks. Ooh.
I destroy monks.
Ooh, yeah.
Monks in this game do not fit for D&D in my opinion. They are if you look at all the classes that you find here in classic D&D, classical D&D, monks are the most out there class. They do not fit into that medieval fantasy style, like clerics do, like fighters do, like wizards do. Those are all medieval fantasy classics. Whereas monks, I don't necessarily hate monks, but this has always been my problem with them. They don't fit when you have this Eastern description of a character in a more medieval fantasy style game. Now, and I've also never played a monk. I'm not against it. Like I said, I don't hate monks. My reasoning for picking this is purely based off what I said. It doesn't fit well for me in a fantasy genre style gameplay when you have this massively Eastern centralized character in the game.
That's your opinion.
It is my opinion, and
okay.
But I mean, just look at the character. Would you see this character in Celtic Ireland?
Well, Celtic Ireland, no, because they don't have a monastery.
There are monks in Celtic Ireland, though, but you wouldn't see this design. I want monks. I want monks to be the monk design.
Well, with the whole doing that era and genre, you do have to think about multiple areas of the world and everything. So they could be looking like that from another side of the island that no one have yet to visit. So therefore, the depiction of them is actually not that bad.
But you can't argue the point that when you think medieval fantasy, monks are just the awkward duck in there.
I mean, when you think of medieval fantasy and everything, you do have monks, monasteries, and all that stuff. They may not be like what they depict in D&D, but at the same time, you still have monks.
But that's my problem with it. D&D decided to make this class so Eastern eccentric that it doesn't fit with everything else.
But it doesn't fit everything in the aspect in which you see.
It simply doesn't fit with everything else. It's such an Eastern-oriented class. But that's my only argument. And we always have to pick something. That I picked monk because I never felt drawn to it. I never felt drawn to play it.
It does have some cool things in it.
There are cool things to it. There unrelenting blows. Their ability to do just as much damage as somebody wielding a freaking hammer and smacking somebody up in the head with it. They are great characters, but I feel like they shouldn't be in a normal player's handbook. They should always be in a player's handbook that shows classes of other, areas of the world. It's just my opinion. It's just my opinion. I'm not trying to rustle any feathers, but I did find some cool pictures of monks.
I think you did rustle some feathers.
I said I'm not trying to, but I probably did. But this monk, this would be, if I was going to play a monk, that would be the monk I would play. He doesn't look like he's
like
still
an earthbender.
Yeah, he still does. He
He
still kind of looks like he has that Eastern influence, but he kind of looks rangerish to me,
Well, that's the thing. It's like when you play as a monk, you can make it so it can fit the time and the era, but monk has technically have always been there. It's just how you want them to depict you.
But you can't deny that in Dungeons and Dragons, the general aspect of monk has always been an Eastern eccentric character dropped in a Western fantasy style world.
I mean, they are a trade system and all that stuff.
Monks, though.
But they didn't look like that. They looked like clerics.
Well,
which is why you can't just,
But then again, you also gotta look at that back then, when it comes to the whole monk and stuff, all that stuff was like sworn secrecy and stuff, so they just get a general depiction that this is part of what they look like and what they do kind of thing.
I don't know if you're talking like actual history or not.
I am talking about actual history.
There were no Chinese monks in 11th century Ireland.
No, not in Ireland itself, but I'm saying like they was monk. Like it was a like they was called travelers, you know, people that just like go around visiting things and all that stuff, travelers. But they was essentially monks, but no one really know about they stuff kind of thing. Cause you know the whole sworn secrecy. But anyway, oh, Love Like Destroy D&D by the Red Eyes Merc, the JJ.
The JJ. But like I said, I wasn't trying to wrestle any feathers, but you know, we have to pick something.
Right. Now, for my light though, is actually a class I haven't played, and that's Druids.
Ah! I want to play a druid so bad.
Right. Now, since I really haven't really played anything with Druids, and the reason why they actually became my light, because as we was doing these videos and everything, I did a quick crash course, you know, a crap guide to D&D for Druids.
I love that channel on YouTube, by the way. If you guys aren't subscribed to it, you have to go find it. I don't remember its name.
Is it funny?
Oh, it's
Oh, it's
hilarious.
fun. It's hilarious.
It's hilarious.
I mean, I also looked at some spellbook cards for the Druid for the little card game they got going on.
Well, it's not a card game. It's just literally cards that you can have
Right.
to, like, you know.
But no, they like just like anything else, they have cards you can turn into a game, and apparently some people play as a card game.
That's
but,
kind of
like,
weird, but okay.
I looked up some spells for them, which is like pretty good 5th edition, cat trip and all that other stuff. Mending, poison spray, thorn whip. And then of course I looked at some other stuff, airwalk, animal growth. Like they have some pretty decent set of spells, and like these are just like some basic ones. This here is obviously the sheet itself.
It's just like, wow, look at all this stuff.
Hey, because like I said, I didn't really know much about Druid.
Oh,
but I went to
another cool thing I forgot to mention with Druid. I don't know if you were going to mention it, so I apologize if you were. But when they wild shape and they start taking damage, when they wild shape, they regain hit points.
Yeah.
That is so broken.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like, I have to look through all this other stuff and find out they have some great stuff with the whole, like you just mentioned, the wild shape regaining. Then, of course, the fact that I find out they are very, very versatile. I mean, you can be like a druid fighter, you can be like a druid ranger, you can be like a druid magic user. It's like you can do almost anything with them, but you don't want to be everything. You want to, like, focus on what it is you want. Otherwise, your druid's going to suck. But it's like, they almost more versatile than the Rangers.
I would still say Rangers are more versatile just because of their martial prowess.
True. Druid, they can have some martial prowess, but just not as well as the Ranger. I mean, they weapon like look, club, daggers, darts, javelin, mace, quarterstaff. You know, they pretty much well into weapons and all that other stuff. But yeah, I totally would like to play a druid, and if I would do a druid, what I would do is actually, because I found out they got those elemental domains, is I would take a Genasi of a particular element, pick that elemental domain with the druid, and like merge that into one.
Oh, so you kind of just like ruined our end part that I was going to do for this. Pick a race to go with the class.
Oh, well.
I mean, I had to throw that in him so this way you be aware of it. Now, my love.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
That was funny. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, but my love is no other. By the way, I want to give this a heads up. This is actually a picture depicted for a buddy did a long time ago when I actually played a monk. He is a half-orc monk. Yeah, so hello, Dex. Since that's essentially what the monks are based off of. Now, reason why I personally like the monks, to discourage all of him, is the fact that the monks is actually almost one of the most easily broken characters in the entire game. Like when I actually played a half-orc monk and everything, I actually got him up to a level 15, and the DM that was playing at the time, he sent like 3 level meta 20 characters after me and still couldn't beat me, and he was like so upset that he just literally storyline killed my character, which was very upsetting. But with the monk, if you like,
that would annoy me.
It would, but like if you like focus everything on that dex and you take weapon finesse, and like you just focus purely on dex. Not only do you have like great AC, you also have great damage dealing. Like you can ensure a hit like it's no other. And I think personally, especially with the whole like, it's not really spells, even though they can learn spells, but they also have their own little things like a chi-based thing.
Key points.
Yeah, key point, which is awesome because you can use that key to like increase your stats, increase your way to hit them. It's like
Increase your damage. There's a lot of cool things. Like I said, I don't think I'm not saying the class isn't a good class.
right.
But like I said, when I think of classic, I just don't think of monks.
Right. But I just love monks because like you can like put them to a point that you can even make Otama fucking nervous. You can make him a little nervous. Like, yeah.
Saitama.
Like, yeah, I don't think I want to mess with him. But
One Punch Man.
yeah, I love monks. Now, for my destroy.
That was funny. I like that. Gosh, dang, you did great with these slides, dude.
Yeah. Well, so I decided to roll die to see what I would destroy in this video. Sad to say, I won't be destroying anything. I don't really have a class to destroy. I play almost all of them. Each class have their own ups and downs.
This is bullcrap, Christina.
I've been known to break classes, like I mentioned before earlier in this video. Know that my half-orc monk was OP by level 15. The DM had a storyline killing him. Just to force me to play as something else. I mean, 1 level 15 versus 3 meta 20 NPC and walking out without a scratch is pretty awesome. Sorry I can't destroy anything, but can you blame me? I mean, I would gladly take a party white and be done with my presentation, so there's my party white.
What the hell?
Party white!
What the heck is that?
Party
Jesus?
rock is in the house
That's
tonight.
the party white.
Why would you make that?
Well, because actually the funny story.
Take it off.
Party house rock is in the house tonight.
Sad to say, when I was playing my Nordic, everybody
Everybody
else in the
just
campaign, they
have a
would
good
literally get party
time.
wipe, and I'd be the only one standing. I think the only thing that
Ain't gonna make you lose
I can will probably kill me is Tiamat himself. Like that's how unnecessary powerful I made my Nordic. I mean, by the way, you believe me or not, Nordic at level 15 had an AC of 45, and that was before I used any keys to like buff it up anymore. So yeah, he was pretty much But that's pretty much mine right there.
Name.
Sorry I couldn't destroy any classes. I mean,
It's okay, Christina.
I only did that once, and that was for Spider-Man.
Alright, so let's talk about Cuties for Life, who couldn't be here to record this with us. She did pick some classes, so let's go into her like class real quick. Her like is Clerics! I like Cuties for Life. She picks the best stuff.
The only reason she actually picked Clerics.
Did she just channel, like, Caleb's loves and make them likes?
Actually, no. Most of her thing that she played, even in fan made, they like based off of Clerics. So it's like she just have a love for Clerics.
She likes to be a
Not
healer.
gonna lie,
but
I
not
really like this hammer looking thing in the second picture.
It's a mace.
Yeah, the mace. Mace. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
still cool looking though.
But she always loved playing like the supporting healing role.
Yeah, but she doesn't heal anybody.
Well, in her mind, no one need healing because by the time you need healing, someone didn't do something epic or talk their way out of a situation. It's like, oh, I guess I'm.
So
not
she's a
doing-
bad healer,
She's
is
the
what you're
worst.
saying.
No, she's not a bad healer. She's just a backup. It's like, all right, we about to do this, yeah, and then someone sweet talk them into following us or sweet talk them to run away, and it's just like, well, I guess I'm just here for shits and giggles, I guess.
No.
So her love class
It's
is
Bard.
Bard. Oh shoot, no, crap, sorry. Bards. Huh.
Her reason for Bards is actually because, musical inclined. She also a musician herself, in both of the singing and playing, and she just like it because it's like a similar thing to her, and also because they also do supply a lot of support, and they also, what she say, can beat the crap out of you, or they can just sit back and sing your demise.
That's funny. And her destroy class. Again, she has no idea what she's doing.
She was like, no.
No.
I mean, again, she is kind of new to the whole Astral D&D. Like I said, we do a lot of homebrew stuff, so.
All right, well,
All right.
Christina, now we're in your choices here, so let's have them.
Okay. I feel like you guys probably could. Well, I don't know if you guys can guess at this point, but okay, here we go. classes. I did the exact same format because it's easier that way and it looks nice this way. So my is paladin. I haven't played a paladin yet,
Wow.
but I want to. This is probably the class that I want to play the most. I want to play a paladin. I want to try it out.
Wow. She
I'm
just
actually
like me.
really surprised.
We both pick a light as something that we haven't played but read upon. It was like something about. I was like, yeah, I like this. I want to do
I
this.
didn't think it was fair to pick something I haven't played as my like or
Well,
love. So
I haven't played that much actual Dungeons and Dragons, so it would really limit my choices.
I play every class but druid and warlock.
Yeah, so it's like whatever their origin and their mission, paladins are united by their oaths to stand against the forces of evil, whether sworn before a god's altar or the witness of a priest in a sacred glade before nature, spirits, and fey beings, or in a moment of desperation and grief with the dead as the only witness. Paladin's oath is a powerful bond. It is a source of power that turns a devout warrior into a blessed champion. I want to play something. I want to try it just because it's got a lot of like martial stuff plus the spells. Plus they have like I don't normally play like really heavily armored characters because paladins are like heavy armor.
the one thing paladins got really going for them is their smite ability, which they get to add more damage to their rolls, and it's just really broken. Like once you get to a high enough level and you have multiple smites that you can use per day, you can like start really destroying somebody. As long as you make sure to take your short rest at the right time, a paladin is almost never going to not do damage.
Right.
I had a buddy that was a gunslinger paladin. He literally had a sniper rifle and everything, and with his smite, that man did so much damage that it was almost points for me to even go into battle.
You're like, okay, yeah, go ahead. I don't know. I've never played one.
You know, they just got done talking about in 5th edition D&D how there's it's not an official class, but it's taking the right classes and multi-classing with the right race to become a sharpshooter, and how they're able to just kill somebody even in cover from 100 yards away before the party ever even gets there.
Yeah.
And how it's almost ruining D&D for some people if they play that.
Well, I don't
Sorry
know.
for interrupting you.
No, it's okay. No, this is one I want to really play.
I am not gonna lie, this very much surprises me.
Really?
I did not think you would ever want to play something so martial, and at the same time so restrictive. And the reason why I say it's restrictive is because when you choose to be a paladin, you're choosing an oath, and you have to stick to it. The moment that you go against your oath, you can lose everything. You can lose everything. Everything that you are as a person, everything that makes you a powerful character, is gone.
I know. Well, that's why I wrote like the sacred oath. Like you have to take an oath, and then you have to take that into consideration with like every decision you make. And I thought that could be interesting. Just trying to find like because it's not just like strictly black and white. So like
I would say paladins are the most black and white class.
Right, but I mean like things are up to interpretation. I would be more interested in I think it'd be fun to have an oath and then like see how many ways I can mess with it. And still fall into the...
I mean, that's kind of like how the monk, they also got those vows that give you like hella benefits. And once you break that vow, oh my god, the negative, you might as well just stop playing.
Alright. Well, I mean, yes, it's black and white, but I think it might be fun just seeing like how...
It depends on the DM who's running. Like, it really does. But a lot of times, that's why paladins aren't very liked. In fact, a lot of groups throughout, D&D, like a lot of games, if somebody wants to play a paladin, you just hear a symphony of groans and, now we gotta deal with a freaking paladin and everything that he, like, so someone wants to steal money from this guy because he's being a butthole at the end, and the paladin's like, no, you will not steal money from him, blah, 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 blah.
But some of the oaths aren't necessarily about, like...
Some of them aren't. I'm not arguing that, but, like, a lot of the times when someone says, I want to play a paladin, it's just meant by that,
Right.
Oh, God, now we gotta deal with this guy.
Right, I don't know. I think it'd be interesting to see, like, how, like, you could break an oath without breaking it, like, bending it, seeing how far it could go either way. I think that would be
That is pretty interesting. I do like that idea.
that would be me. And then as far as alignment goes, like they're usually good, obviously.
But there are evil paladins.
Yeah.
I played an evil paladin. It was fucking.
As
It was
guardians
awesome.
against the forces of wickedness, paladins are rarely of any evil alignment. Most of them want the path of charity and justice. Considering, well, this is from the 5th edition stuff, but consider how your alignment colors the way you pursue your holy quest and the manner in which you conduct yourself before gods and mortals. Your oath and alignment might be in harmony, or your oath might represent standards of behavior that you have not yet attained. Which is also an interesting thing, where, like, you have an oath, I mean, you're not there yet, but you're trying. That could be interesting, Or you start out with, you broke your oath, and now you're trying to get redemption.
I'm pretty sure in 5th edition D&D that you take your oath at level 3.
I think so.
And another thing that I'm repeating this from Will and the Dungeon Cast. One of the most important things you have to do as a DM is flavor and have fun with things like that.
Right.
Like when a paladin turns level 3 and chooses their oath, you have to make sure to make it a fun time for them. Don't just say, "Oh, you take your oath, you're good now." Make it so that their brothers come out of nowhere and just go, "It is time for the oath ceremony," and you're taken away to this, like this beautiful chapel, but you're taken down into the corridors below. There's an altar before you with candles lit. The master of the order stands before you, and just that makes it so much better than just, "You're level 3, you got an oath."
That's kind of what my DM did.
Okay.
Like when I had to take my oath and everything, literally, he had a lich because I was an evil paladin. He had a lich came to me.
You're like, hello.
Like no, the
Hello,
lich, and the way the lich like gave me my oath and everything, he was more like, "Let's strike a deal," kind of thing.
Right.
But that's just way more fun than just, "Hey, you're level 3, have your oath. Hey, you're level 3, take the subclass," and have no explanation as to why you're doing that subclass in game.
I understand.
So
Either way, I want to try Paladin.
I went on a little rant. Sorry, guys.
You did. Alright, so I want to try it. Plus, they have like angel armor. They like to, their angels are what they aspire to.
If you're a good paladin.
If you're a good paladin. And I can dig the, angelic look.
That's like a level 20.
Yeah, I know.
Just got done going down to the 9 hells and bopping some ass. And now I'm back on Earth.
I know, but
Speaking
he
of which,
looks pretty sweet.
Nordic is actually currently in the 9th level of hell because he killed the prince and he now stuck there. That's what my DM did in order to kill him.
Asmodeus is like tormenting him now.
No one can actually be unless, like I mentioned, the only way my DM was able to get rid of Nordic, he fabricated a story that a demon came out of a portal. He opened a gate from hell, came out. Nordic, who was just so thirst for fighting and everything, fought him, fell into the dimension with him and everything, killed him, which shut the dimension and locked hell. So Nordic can never come out, but at least he satisfied his bloodlust of constant endless fighting.
Okay.
It was very upsetting. I miss Nordic.
I don't.
My love.
I'm gonna make a campaign where I gotta go rescue Nordic.
I play Warlocks.
Really?
You haven't played a warlock.
I did play a Warlock.
Wait, yeah,
Didn't
you
play
did play.
warlock.
Crap, never mind. I was about to say, you're picking all these classes you've never played. No.
Remember, we haven't played a Warlock.
Warlocks.
Yeah,
Warlocks are seekers of the knowledge that lies hidden in the fabric of the multiverse. Through pacts made with mysterious beings of supernatural power, warlocks unlock magical effects both subtle and spectacular, drawing on the ancient knowledge of beings such as fey nobles, demons, devils, hags, and alien entities of the far realm. Warlocks piece together arcane secrets to bolster their own power. Yeah, so I like the idea of searching for hidden lores and ancient secrets, things like that. I've never been into material possessions, but having information and stuff is way more. I guess I did play a klepto once. Right?
Yeah.
But she didn't.
I played a lot of Kleptos.
But she didn't want the things because she wanted the things.
She was doing it because she has a problem. She's a freaking psycho.
She took them because she could. And like she was very impulsive.
That kind of remind me of
Nice. You just knocked over everything.
It was one.
No.
I kind of got a character in the hero system right now. His name is Scrub, and unfortunately he is a klepto. Like the DM would literally just like roll stuff. Like if I go to like a shopping center, he would just like random roll something. Like, all right, and when you go back to home and empty out your pockets, you realize there's a ring and all this other stuff there. It's like, oh, I didn't realize I stole them.
You play a lot of sticky characters.
Yes, I do. I love sticky fingers.
You really do.
Nordic is literally the only character I ever played that didn't have a sticky finger because his intelligence was to a point where he didn't really care about stealing. All he cared about was a good fight.
Yeah, he didn't think about taking anything because
Yeah, he's Goku.
Literally was. Like he had wisdom and understanding of things, but his intelligence to implement them wasn't there.
Yeah, he's Goku.
Anyway, and then I also like that you could have a very unique patron. Because, like, the gods can be kind of like, oh, this god of this is blah, blah, blah. Yeah,
You might as well be a cleric when you pick a god.
Yeah, but, like, you could, if you have, like, a fae or, like, a demon or a hag, they could have all sorts of random desires. Like, it doesn't have to be good or bad. It could just be, like, something.
I like the idea of doing, like, a fae queen in the fae realm who's bestowing power upon you to, stop, like, the destruction of nature or something. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think
Speaking of phase was literally like very close for my destruction on the last one because every campaign I've been in, I always get something about phase that always like mess with my character. Always. So it was like very close to being destroyed that last week one.
Well, I don't know. I just think it'd be. I think because you can kind of make the patron then, you know.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, and then like you can, their desires could be off the wall. Like it doesn't even have to make sense, really. Like when you're dealing with beings that can be just whatever, like you can have them doing, like, I don't know, really random things. I don't know. I think that would be fun to play like a really random thing where they're like, I need, like, if like like Rocket Raccoon's just like randomly wants things, like working for Rocket Raccoon.
Yeah, and give me his leg.
Yeah, there's I need his leg, and you're like, okay, and then so, like I don't know, for some reason it sounds funny, like, ow,
Stop.
ow, quit. And then I don't know. I kept the alignment thing, but it probably just depends on what kind of patron you got. Cause I can imagine you can have a pretty lawful warlock, really.
I mean, you could. It just depends on your patron.
Yeah. But yeah, so I enjoyed playing a warlock.
You know what sounds like a really good idea for a warlock? This patron that's about to just rain down mighty fire and brimstone upon you, just kill you. And and wanting to live, you beg for your life, saying you do anything, you serve them, and that's how you gain your relationship.
Right.
Doesn't that sound cool?
I mean, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of ways to do it.
And that's another interesting thing. There's so many different ways to. By the way, a cool thing about warlocks is they're the most heavily cross-class into class in 5th edition D&D.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, like you could be doing all sorts of things and then sign a pact. Anyway, all right. So my destroy is the same as the last video.
How is it the same as the last video?
No. I mean, like, it's not that I don't like the class. It's just I would be intimidated in having to play it.
I am really interested to see this now.
Okay. Barbarian.
They're so simple. They are literally the most simple race to play. Hey, how do I handle this situation? Get angry. Arrgh!
Okay, calm down. There's barbarians, different as they may be, are defined by their rage, unbridled, unquenchable, and unthinking fury. More than a mere emotion, their anger is the ferocity of a cornered predator, their unrelenting assault of a storm, the churning turmoil of the sea. For some, their rage springs from a communion with fierce animal spirits. Others draw from a rolling reservoir of anger at a world full of pain. For every barbarian, rage is a power that feels not just a battle frenzy, but also uncanny reflexes, resilience, and feats of strength. Okay. Well, Rage. I don't do rage in real life. Like, it's not something I feel.
Oh, I do rage on a daily basis.
I know, but I don't. I'm not a big. I don't feel rage. Like, I could get mad and I could get petty and irritated. But rage is something I don't understand really as an emotion. And
I do.
I know. But then even when I feel like a really strong emotion, I don't tend to hold on to it for very long. So like I don't understand. I feel like that makes it a little harder to like do, to like pretend to do. Plus, I mean, they don't have to be, but they tend to be less educated. I think in like what the first generation or second or whatever, they had to be illiterate or something.
Yep. They
So,
used
like,
to have to be illiterate.
Yeah, so like
Sometimes you had to put your lowest stat in intelligence.
yeah, so like they're kind of like illiterate, slow-minded, and I'm not really like I'm book smart naturally. I don't have a lot of common sense. So to try to play
Preach.
it, but so for me trying to play a character that isn't book smart and has common sense is really difficult because I don't have the common sense to like.
Yeah.
It's hard to play something you don't have.
Yeah.
Preach.
So like, just it would be hard to make it feel genuine without feeling like stifled.
No,
Does that make sense?
No, I completely understand. I completely understand.
Right. Yeah, thanks. I know both of you understand that I have no common sense. Because I don't. I won't deny it. But so to try to play
Just
it...
don't deny it. Just don't deny
I am
it.
dealing
Deal
with it. I am dealing with it. I'm just saying, it would be really hard for me to play
Just
a
got
character...
copyright infringement.
Probably. Like, well, no, because you were singing it, so it probably wouldn't even, like, it doesn't even sound like the song.
Like, those wasn't even the words.
I'm just saying, like, it'd be really hard for me to try to play this character and make it seem genuine without me just kind of trying to channel Caleb and pretending that I'm Caleb. And
I don't know if I should be like,
Hmm.
you know...
You would be the first person I could think of. Like, I mean, it's like I could probably play it, but playing it well might be hard. An alignment, I imagine you can swing both ways with alignments.
Alignment, it really doesn't matter with a barbarian.
Yeah, I was like, it doesn't really matter. Like, it didn't seem like
I like the way they've gone with the new barbarians, though. I think they're a lot better than the old school first edition, second edition, third edition barbarians.
I don't know. It's the class I decided would be the most intimidating to play for me.
So, if you were going to play a barbarian, Christina, what would the race be?
If I had to play a barbarian, I'd probably just pick a half orc.
Okay, simple.
Even though, like, I don't even want to play a half orc. Like, that's how much, like, I don't want to play a half orc, and I don't want to play a barbarian. So I don't know how.
Ouch.
I'm sorry. It's nothing against. Well, it's a lot
Although,
against
even
half
though
orcs.
that's what you said, believe it or not, that would actually be very good considering the fact that with the barbarian, they do have like those use HP to do some damage kind of thing, and especially with the raging out.
Well,
and then of course with the half orc who also can like benefit from like, nope, I can still stand, I can still do shit. So like it almost like, you know, work with each other. So it does make sense regardless of you not intending it to be that.
Yeah, I was like, well, I mean, like, if I'm gonna be bad at role playing, I might as well be useful to the team.
What about you, JJ? If you're going to play a barbarian, what would it be?
You know, I would go completely off the walls and be an elf.
What?
That is like completely off the wall.
What even?
Like,
No, because-
what would an elf bar? Oh, I can see it now. Actually, it's like a barbarian is supposed to look like this, this rugged, but an elf barbarian would look beautiful as it rages across the field. Oh, I like it actually.
Yeah, but actually, my only reason why is because of the simple fact I hate elves to a point that's like only because I hate face. What can I do to like make them ugly? Barbarian them.
Kinda like it.
It'd still be pretty.
Yeah, but it'd be like an ugly pretty.
Probably.
It'll make other elves go, look at that weirdo.
Right.
I would play a Storm Genasi just because I know that there's an awesome
Storm Genasi actually got like a unique form of rage themselves, so
but I also know under Barbarian there's a subclass that deals with like lightning and stuff
yeah.
and like twirling around. I just think that sounds awesome. So let's go to Christina's. So Christina, if you were to build a warlock right now, what class would it be and why? I mean, what race would it be and why?
Well, I would probably still do a tiefling.
Just do another tiefling?
I like them a lot.
Okay, JJ?
me, I would do something again off the wall.
Here we go.
A dwarf.
Ha! Well, I mean, I guess that makes sense. I mean, they can get in contact with all sorts of terrible things in the deep.
Yeah.
You know what I would do? I would do a drow male trying to escape my society.
I mean,
Dresden.
I think that sounds awesome. Dritz Duerden is not a warlock though. He's a ranger / monk /
That's not the point.
But I think it sounds awesome to play like a drow male trying to escape. You know, use the power of a patron to get away. And now, like, did he do it? Did he trade in for better or for worse?
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that sounds interesting. Christina, if you were to build a paladin right now, what race would it be?
This is hard. You know what? I know I'm gonna get a lot of crap for this probably, but I would probably go with a human.
What? The last episode, you're like humans. Ugh.
I know.
Ugh.
But I would probably go with a human if I was just a paladin.
You're so freaking BS. Gosh. All right. Let's go with someone more sensible. JJ.
Way more sensible. He would make a freaking barbarian elf. And
That sounds awesome, actually.
Well, whatever.
Wow. I have no response because even though he said he moved to someone more sensible, sad to say, I will go with a human paladin.
God, you guys suck.
Human paladin.
I never want to play a human because I am human, so there's no point.
No, only reason I would go with like a human paladin because if I had to like the way how paladin is, what they like, they oath and they like core and all that other stuff. Besides a dwarf, a human is like the second closest thing that actually like stand to their core and their whole belief and all that stuff.
Yeah, I feel like a human would.
So
be
that's why I
good
say like
choice for that.
next to a dwarf, a human is actually what I would see.
I would actually do a dwarf because I would want that full plate mail with like the faces on my on my armor of the gods that I worship.
Yeah, well, you know what? That guy has faces.
Yeah, but they're
That's
dumb
what,
faces.
like to
They're
me.
dumb
That's what
faces.
to me like dwarf and humans like paladin was made for dwarfs and humans.
All right, so going to JJ's real quick. So, JJ, you picked druid. What race would you play if you were going to be a druid?
Well, I know I mentioned this on the last episode one. I would totally do a Genasi. I would probably go with like I would probably still pick the fire Genasi and go and nick the fire domain. And then I would like alter my wild shape, so like I'll be like a hell spawn. So like if I go into like a bear, it'd be like a fiery bear kind of thing.
That sounds really cool, actually.
Yeah.
That's a terrifying.
Like that's the point of it. It's like,
Fire bear. What the fuck?
yeah, you know, it's just something about like being a fire Genasi from the fire domain druid and just like just rapid fire everything kind of thing. And like I mentioned before, like how the druid kind of like almost a jack of all trade, but you have to focus it. Otherwise, you're just gonna have a pointless druid.
Right.
So, what would be your race, Christina?
Well, it's kind of the reverse of the video I just did. I'd probably do a half elf.
A half elf?
Yep.
I mean, that's more simple.
I think you know what? I think I'd do a halfling that uses that uses their druid powers to wild shape into being, into powerful creatures. because they feel inadequate.
Well, you have to be a higher
Rude.
level because
Rude.
the early wild shape you can only go in things that
Like
you
a
kind of.
wolf.
Well, no, not only like wolf things like that you are like if I'm a medium character, I can only go like wild shape into like medium type animals. And since
He's a
halfling,
bunny.
and since like halfling is
Buddy.
that's what I'm saying. And since like halfling is like small and stuff, so you'd be like able to like wild shape into like raccoons and badgers and stuff. So
But that's the point. I'd want to get it to be able to like wild shape into a bear, so I can like actually be something powerful and big.
like this. What you gonna do, shorty? Oh crap, run!
Oh crap! Run! Go through this real quick. So monk JJ obviously pick a half orc, right?
Well, no, because I did Nordic, and I can never replace Nordic. So unless I can,
If you were to build a new monk today, you wouldn't pick a half orc.
no,
What would you pick?
because like the reason I won't pick a half orc because to rebuild Nordic it took a long and a lot of session to make Nordic have the title that Nordic have. I cannot replicate that. So if I would have to build a monk today, the race I would actually pick, I will go. You know what? I'll go with one that I would destroy.
Dragonborn.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
What about you, Christina?
So, the one I immediately thought of, I went straight to human.
Wow. So somebody like just keeps like humans are stupid.
Yeah, I didn't.
But I
destroy-
keep picking humans.
I didn't destroy them.
And by the way, I kind of want to back up actually and choose something else instead of halfling for
Right.
druid. I want to pick an Aarakocra for druid, so I can be a bird and then wild shape into other animals.
Wow.
I forgot about them. They'd be cool for a monk, right? Like they're just like whoop-ah.
With their wings, they start just punch with their wings.
I literally just got this weird
That sounds
idea.
fun.
Like I'm thinking of Kung Fu
I
Panda
don't-
right now.
I don't. They don't actually have arms for wings though. They just have wings on their back.
I know, but it'd be fun, right?
If they had
like-
wings for their arms.
But I mean, even then, you could still hit people. Like if you had the wings correctly, like a side attack where you just like. I want to do that. Now I want to do that.
For a monk.
Yeah.
I think I'd pick a Goliath if I was
I
going
want
to
to
do
pick
a
a
monk.
bird monk.
I mean that makes sense. I mean,
I like the idea of a Goliath. And for JJ's destroy,
what destroy?
yeah, I was about to say I forgot you didn't have a destroy because JJ's lame.
I'm sorry. When it comes to destroying a class, I break classes, so it's kind of hard for me to destroy a class when I can break them all.
So we already did monk, so let's go to cleric. If we were gonna do a cleric, Christina, you're gonna build a cleric. What would it be and why? What race would it be and why? Come on. You tried.
Oh,
to
more
break
like
me.
a Kenku.
A Kenku cleric?
Yeah.
They're like scavengers and
No, but like, didn't they lose their ability to fly because they pissed off some god?
yeah.
Maybe
that
like-
would be cool.
maybe,
Yeah.
Maybe the
Trying to
Kenku's,
appease
like,
the god as a
dedicated to
cleric
that god
and trying to get
try
your flight back.
Yeah.
Ah, I like it now.
See?
Nice.
See?
Ah.
Yeah.
JJ.
The only thing coming to my mind is an Asimar.
Mm. I mean, they're kind of goddish already.
Yeah. That's why it
Okay.
like just came to my mind.
So I'm gonna go dwarf, but not dwarf. I want to pick a Duergar. The Duergar, yeah, the Duergar were cast down for their sins, and they're the children of people that were cast into the Underdark by the dwarves for crimes against their gods. I think a Duergar who wants to worship Moradin and climb back to the surface and join his original brethren. I think that sounds like a fun adventure.
It could be.
But for a ranger, Christina, go. What would you pick? This video is gonna be long too.
Yeah, it is. I mean, Rangers are like archery and.
Either that, or they do bladed weapons, two-handed dual wielding.
I don't know a lot about Rangers.
Rangers are very Rangers. What makes Rangers so cool is that Rangers have a thing where they pick a certain geographical setting, and they become great in that setting. So that's why Rangers. You can have Rangers from everywhere. You see the stereotypical ranger from the forest, but there are Arctic rangers, there are mountainous rangers, there are a human ranger from a city who uses parkour to get around.
Yeah.
I love that idea.
Huh.
Isn't that cool?
That is a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. And when you pick your setting for because you have to pick a style of terrain, you just pick urban.
Now I just got this that video game stuck in my head. What is it? Mirror Edge, but you like the delivery girl, and you just
I
like.
thought you were gonna say Assassin's Creed, but
nope. Like it's called Mirror Edge, where you like it's a first person parkour, and you a delivery person. It's very unique gameplay.
Sounds like it. I would want to. Maybe I should have made this a special mention in my races video, but I didn't want to do any special mentions. But obviously it didn't matter. I want to play a gnome.
A gnome ranger? That sounds awesome.
Yeah, so like.
That sounds funny. See a little midget. How did he climb that?
Right, like,
a gnome ranger who's like a great tree climber.
Because when I was going through the races and actually reading, because I thought I was gonna destroy gnomes because I thought they were stupid. But then I actually like read what they do, and I was like, you know what, these aren't so bad. So now I should have made it my special mention. So I kind of want to make a gnome, and I think gnomes could be it could be an interesting ranger.
That's like I said. That's the best thing about rangers is that they work for everything. Like some classes tend to work better for certain races. Like when you think barbarian, you automatically think orc. You automatically think like Goliaths. These powerful beings that could benefit from that. Or when you think sorcerers, you think tieflings. You think elves. Anything that has that magical ambiguity already. But Ranger is one of those classes that just works for anything because it doesn't matter your terrain. You just pick the terrain that you work with. There's no amount of specialization that goes for one race or another. Rangers are just perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, you do.
I'm really trying to sell Ranger right now,
you are.
but I feel like I'm justified in what I'm saying. I feel like
sure, I'd be an Arakaka.
Arakaka, that'd be cool. Sky is your domain.
Yeah.
Ah, I like it. I still like the idea of an Arakaka druid who like turns into a bear. Like I'm tired of flying. No, an Arakaka druid who is flying down to strike at you and in mid-flight starts turning into a bear and lands on your ass like.
That sounds like
that
sounds like a Beast Boy move.
No, my reason for that is literally because of the simple fact of that one bird Pokemon, with the whole bow and arrow and all that other stuff. Yeah.
But
I don't remember his awful, but
Decide you.
Yeah, that's literally just came to my mind. It's like, yeah, I do that for it,
I like the middle form where he had like the emo hair.
Oh my God! Stop talking already.
Even like flick his hair.
Yeah, he did. He just flick it. I was like,
Alright, guys. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Like, Love, Destroy Dungeons & Dragons Classes. I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, head on down to that like button and hit that like button for me. And if you're new, make sure you subscribe and hit the little bell so you always know when some Mock Creations content is coming your way. I want to know, what is your guys' favorite race? What is your favorite class? And if you were going to make a character right now, what would the race be and what would the class be? And tell me why. Let me know in the comment section down below. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. From myself, JJ, and Stina Rose, or Red Eyes Merc and Stina Rose. We will catch you guys next time as we delve into some 80s cartoon mania and take down the Cobra Menace. Yo, Joe.
These are the tales that Tiamat once told me.
Bye. Have a pleasant time.
What the